aggro, I guess, with eggs, like Nerubians, that kind of stuff. That was sort of what I played back in the day. First deck I hit rank 1 legend with was Egg Druid, actually. So the kind of core of this deck is very near and dear to me. I like it a lot, and I have a lot of fun playing with it. So we can talk about the card inclusions here that I think are more or less core in basically every aggro deck that you're going to play for Druid. As long as it's an aggro deck that's based around going wide and buffing the board. So the buff package is basically just a Lotus and Power of the Wild. And then Savage Roar is a finisher and kind of like a mid-game card to trade with as well sometimes. But Lotus is probably the most overpowered card in the deck. It's very, very strong, super broken for its mana cost, and explosive. Power of the Wild is the same thing, a little bit more flexible, but more expensive, so it's less good. You also have Mark of Yisraj as well. I do think this card is core because the ability to just give your minion +2/2 in trade is insanely good in a deck that needs to get ahead on board. So that's absolutely broken, and the fact that you run Beast just helps out a lot as well. You can talk about the cards that I include for minions that I think are the ones that you always want. So basically, Acorn Bears is broken. It gives you a lot of gas and more tokens, which is super good. Diremol and Raven are both beasts, so they synergize with Yisraj, and they're well statted for 1-drops, so you usually want those. And they're doing really well. Roots is just 2 minions that summon right away, or deal 2 damage, so it's super flexible in that sense. And just helps you spread and buff your board up fast. So that's kind of exactly what you want in the deck. And Finley is broken because Life Tap, or even Paladin, or Shaman Hero Power is very, very good in this deck. So Finley is a super good card and also a 1/3, which is nice. So that's a fairly great card to have. If you don't have him, it kind of sucks, but he is very good to run. And then just Jeeves, obviously, to redraw your hands. You can play Aggro Druid with Jeeves. You would then play it with... let me show you guys right now. It's not as good right now because there's a lot of Shamans, but Living Mana would be the card that you would play with right now. It's okay. It's not very good against Warlock either. You want to go more tall against Warlock, but Living Mana is a card that you could do if you don't want to play Jeeves. It's fine. It works. But that's what I would kind of consider the core. The version I'm going to play today is a little bit... well, it's pretty basic. There's not too much about it, right? I don't want to play anything fancy. We added some Beaming Sidekicks, new Uldum card, just very good for making your minions taller, giving them more health. Add in the Fireflies, they're just good cards to give you gas as well, pretty similar to Acorn Bear, although a little bit worse, I would say, because they're not beasts. Then we put in Creepers and 1 Nerubian Egg, so we do that because they're just Death Rattle minions. Death Rattle minions in general are pretty good right now. They're very sticky against Plague of Flames, and they're good against all Mage's Secrets. So that's kind of the idea there. And I did just want to play an Egg. I think Nerubian Egg is a pretty good call right now, and definitely a card that is worth running. And then Blessing of Champions is Blessing of Ancients is an interesting one. It's a very good card when you need it, but a lot of the time it sits in your hand and just doesn't do that much. It's significantly worse than Mark of the Lotus and Power of the Wild until about like turn 6 or 7. And you usually want to win games by turn 6 or 7, so it's kind of like a shot in the dark. I still think it's worth running just because getting buffs is so crucial with this deck, but the card is probably one of the worst ones in the final version of the deck that I'm playing today. And then Carpet. Carpet just lets you use all the 1-drops and have them just rush into other things. It's played a lot in Odd Rogue right now. It fits just as well in this deck, if not better, because you do play more 1-cost minions. So I think this card is absolutely insane in this kind of archetype in matchups like, well, it doesn't really happen right now, but Odd Paladin. This card is like the best card in the deck against Odd Paladin. You just play Carpet, play all your 1-drops, you value trade into their minions, you buff them up, you win the game. It's pretty good against even just Mech Paladin and Secret Mage right now as well, because it just sticks and it's tough to remove. They can't kill it with 1 minion usually. It's also good against Snip Warlock. It kills their small stuff unless you rush into their small stuff so they don't stick stuff, but they usually just Plague of Flames it, so that kind of sucks. But still a good card, and one that can help you win games. It's kind of like the gist of the deck. It's a very fast list that looks to win quickly, develop a board, buff the board up, and then win with Savage Roar. That's kind of like the idea of the deck. If you don't get there right away, then you play Jeeves, refill your hand, and then hopefully do that a couple times, and just pop off and win. Aggro Druid. Let's play. Epiphany. What's up, Nick? So we're against a Warlock now. Blessing of the Ancients might be okay. It's a little bit slow, but this is generally a slow matchup. So if he's Sip-Sap, keeping these type of cards is very good. They're both a little bit weird to have like 2 of, though. The Nerubian plays are in Defile better, but the Creeper is just more aggressive. Keeping both is kind of weird, because we almost always want to play this on turn 3. I think we should go for like the more aggressive plan. Nubian Egg's nice, but if we're looking for Blessing the Ancients, I just want a better start, I guess. Yeah. It's me now. How you doing? This card gets a lot better in your slow matchups, because in your fast one, you usually don't have time to play it. But against decks that like are combo based or control based, this card definitely shines. Even like in your aggro matchups when you top deck it later, it's good. And like it's better to have this in your hand than like a Jeeves right now, I guess. I mean, it's not like the worst card in the world. It's just at the same time also not the best. If he snip snap, what do I even want? I think like ping or heal. I don't think it's a steady shot. I think it's ping. They have a lot of small minions like that that you just want to clear, and maybe I don't want to interact with my minions into his, so I get the hero power to do it. You win this matchup from like maintaining board control, nothing else really. So now we can play into Defile if we wanted to. We have to at some point, right? There's not really like an option to not play on Defile. We always lose to that at some point in this game. You'd have to like make it so he doesn't have a 2 or a 1 to make Defile bad, which almost never happens. Mistress is fine.
Let's see.
I feel like it's maybe like Roots go wide, trade there, go face. Play the Blessing, obviously. I think that's probably my move. So I think it's good to just trade off the 2/2, so he has to have the 1 for Defile. He's not playing like a lot of card draw, so it might be the case that he is Reno Lock instead of Snip Snap. Which is generally quite a bit easier to play against because they don't run like 2 Plague of Flames and 2 Defiles. Okay, never mind, Snip Snap. Okay, he plays that. Kinda want to spread out. It might be like Raven, Blessing of the Ancients, trade their face-face, just to make it harder for Defile. He could probably play enough minions to just Plague of Flames next turn. What are we doing into that?
How about...
Not very much, right? Maybe it's like just a draw. I mean, let's try this, okay? So we're gonna draw here to see what we get. Savage Hiroka. So the look that I'm like looking at is have like 2 health minions. I guess we have a 2 and a 3, but we don't have a... Yeah, there's no 4, right? So... If you go Acorn Bearer or Lotus, we have the 1 mana cards to refill with. So we do have minions to spam. We push a decent chunk of damage. We do trade with that, and then just go face for 8. We do have Savage Roar as well, so he has to interact with the board here. But I think with 9 cards and a mech discounted hand, he's going to be able to Plague of Flames. Or like maybe find a Defile. The thing with making this big though is like a lot of time I'm going to have 2 1/1 tokens to just go in with next turn. Which should be good. Dominus Defile? I don't think that works though, right? It clears a lot of stuff, but not everything. I still have 5-2. Plays Mech Warper and then double Mech Warper? Wait. How do you combo if you do that? He can't combo anymore, right? But maybe he doesn't need to. That could be his thought process, that he doesn't need to combo. Carpet was an insane draw here, by the way. So I would Carpet. I would have to trade, unfortunately, I think.
Now, how about...
Is this a question? I guess I wouldn't want to, like, double Squirrel, right? It would be better to, like, Raven trade 1 than just develop a Squirrel. Do like that and that. Maybe even argue that his board's just, like, it's not really big enough for Foolish Raven, so I just do that then, okay. So we have like some gas left. He knows if he doesn't Defile or do something like that here, he's in a bad spot.
I hope you like my invention.
He draws. He's looking for the removal.
I hope you like
Second,
my
at
invention.
least your mana. He can play a target on me. Okay, cool. We took down a Snip Snap Warlock. Nice. So we do that. We do this, and then we use our hero power to ping him in the head. That was pretty cool. I don't know about the double Mech Warper play. Maybe his hand was just bad or something, but. I think going for the Arc of Yesaraj and the Creeper made it really weird for him to clear that. It's cool.
Lunara versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
The forest fights back.
Carpet's good. He's on coin though. Carpet maybe a little bit slow. Same with Creeper. I think we want 1-drops. Carpet's good against Odd Paladin. Against Mech Paladin, I think I'd rather just have 1s to try and kill him with. It's a matchup where you really have to get there and get there quick, I think. If I play this on 1, I can value trade as 1-1, so I should probably play this first. Whereas with Roots, we can't value trade the hand buff card if he coins it. It's also the same amount of damage. Okay, there we go. Full hand minions, okay. Nerubian plus Roar is good. This is less damage overall though. If I'm not playing Roots, I can also go face with this, which is kind of nice. Maybe, no, we should trade to play on like Skaterbot stuff, I think. Okay. But we like with the Roar, I think that like looking for this first is better. Tempest, how are you? Okay, second hand buff, that's good. It's kind of better than good, right? That's really good for him. So you can kill my 2-1 off with his 1-1. I play cards here. Sort of sucks, but that's life. With the Roar, we usually kill the first wave of hand buff cards. It could be very big though, it just depends. Galvanizer is quite large. And then what does he strap on it? Plays like a Mech Warper after, it goes wide.
Converting stored energy.
6-9. 6-9.
Converting stored energy.
Okay, 9-14. A 9-14. So I have quite a bit of damage with the Roar, right? Roar, we get 10 damage. So we're 1 off clearing it right now. So we could Roar, go boom boom.
What if?
That would do 5, you'd have 9 health. And then we would Lotus and do extra and then swing with her face and take 9 and clear it. Yeah. Okay. So that's a 5. Maybe trade this way. Okay. Hopefully we draw a 1 mana card for Jeeves. Jeeves is good for him as well, but for us it's better because we draw first. So we have initiative with what he has. We're playing Arena Lock on and joining Lock. Good stuff, dude. Arena Lock's pretty dope. Is this the part where he plays a 6-9 flying machine? He can, yeah. He has 1 more really big hand buff card. Maybe that's a hand buff risky card. Maybe not. We'll see. Annoying module. Okay, that's pretty annoying. We can trade it though, so it's really not that bad for us. Would I ever mark hero for playing Jeeves? I probably do, right? Just do this, hero power here, mark, trade. These two. He only has 1 card. It is like a really big card, but even like, say this is a war gear, right? Our 7-3 just trades. So usually we're fine.
What's the flight plan?
3-6, okay.
Shields off. Red alert.
I'd honestly almost go as far to say this matchup is favored, just because you can do so well into what they want to do. So I don't get a hero power, but I could just go like... I could go Roots for 2, face for 7. I think we probably want to make it so he has no minions though. So his top deck's just bad. I should play the Roots,
How about
which means I should trade there. But I really have 2 1-1s or 2-2. Probably 2 1-1s, right? So we're just trading the board and then playing Jeeves and Living Roots. Okay.
Sustenance.
So we have initiative with Jeeves. It is good for him as well because he does get to draw 3 with it, but we draw first. And a lot of our cards are more reactive, like the Carpet, right? The Carpet's a really good reactive card. And we're going to have mana to play ours first. His cards are also usually only scary when they're discounted and hand buffed. Which they aren't right now. They're not discounted or hand buffed.
Let me get that.
Roar's definitely not lethal here. The Carpets. That's 3. The Seer Power might be better than the new one. Maybe not at the same time. But I mean, I wouldn't really want like any. I mean, maybe like. Top could still be good if he kills the Jeeves. So this just helps us clear the 1/4. That's why we want to keep that. Maybe ping for Divine Shields. We should have Jeeves up for the rest of the game is the logic.
Good.
So we swing, we do that, we do that. Okay, good. We draw 2.
Let me get that.
Lotus and Firefly, really good. So we should probably win next turn. In most cases. I think Barista is a must in Reno Lock. If you don't have her, you can play without it. I don't think anything is like a must in any deck. Unless it's like a Quast and a Quast deck. You can even play like Reno decks without Reno. But I would say it makes the deck better, for sure. I would recommend getting Barista if you don't have her, but I think you're okay no matter what.
Let me think.
To me, watch me play this, they have the 6/9 Flying Machine. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty normal, right? They usually have a very good hand, like, at least one really buff minion. So, I mean, does he even want to do that? No, he wants Jeeves alive. It's kind of funny, because it's really good for us. But I think he thinks if he doesn't have Jeeves alive, he's never going to win at the same time. So he probably just, like, heal him back to full here. Are we playing a Roar? If we play our whole hand, like, what's the best way to do it? We keep these cards buffed up. We maybe don't even play Roar here. We maybe just want to look for, like, a big board. So we can trade ping. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we technically could have like Lotus, right? I probably should have used the Lotus, that's my bad. But we can still do it here, it's fine. But I could have like had another minion or 2 on board, so that's my bad, sorry. Trade the 3.
Time goes short.
Trade the lower health minion, I guess. Just like, okay, so I could have like trade the Jeeves too, then I missed some damage. Okay, we usually get another buff card and have the ability to end the game next turn. He has one more taunt card with a Noya module, that's it. He buffs his stuff. Spy Warriors around, okay. So Noya module is the annoying card, but we do just have a Roar, right? So, okay, sorry, I forgot about Noya Taunt's my bad. It's annoying. And Rush, so he kills the Carpet or the Jeeves? Carpets, okay. Carpet is dead. Rest in peace, he's no more. We draw a buff card, it's really good for us. Go buff, Roar, trade that off, then we have 14 plus 6, 20. We're 1 off lethal, but then we just win next turn, right?
Let's see.
With the ping. So I think buff, Roar is just basically there. You send 7 in here. You do 14 plus 6, you swing face for 2, then you ping next turn.
Now how about...
That should be fine. He never gets like 9 mana. Enough damage to win here.
Let me get that.
He doesn't have Zilliax, so he can't heal, so we would just ping. It's just set up. It's just set up, sorry. Okay, good. So I think other than like that last turn with the Carpet, this game's been played fine though. Went for the right lines. I think the mulligan is pretty important. Looking for the 1-drops is so huge.
I wonder.
And, Carpet definitely did put in work. Carpet is just a Roar. I feel like Roar is like one of the higher skill cap cards in this deck. It's usually like Roar and the buff cards. So they're not always like that easy to use. And I would say like misplayed with pretty frequently. Because you need to have like a good idea of how to evaluate things to be able to decide when to use what. Ping pong, game. Pretty sure you're lethal if I put the 1/3 better? Yeah, you're not wrong. I would have had more minions, so I would have been able to go face for more. Put him at 1, then yeah. Lotheb? I don't really think Lotheb's that good because he's so slow.
The forest fights back.
Beaming Sidekick on play. I might just play it as a 1/2. If that's the case, I probably don't keep. Maybe even toss the Creeper. I feel like this card's just good here, though. I don't know. Passing on 1 against Mech Paladin is just not good. So 1-2 better than like a toss and hope to get a good card. If I toss that, we have 2 draws for 1. If I toss this, I could get another 1-drops better. But this card's just good. I'm gonna keep Lotus because this card's good. I think because we're on play, I have to do this and just look for a 1-drop and 2 draws. If not, I just go Sidekick. Okay, unlucky. It's a slow hand. We have to play this on 1 though. Are we favored against Fire Warrior? Yeah, usually. You kind of have a hard time if they draw first mate, otherwise the game's generally fine. It's probably Divine Favor. And Nubian Egg. Nubian's not bad with the Mark of Yisraj and like all the buff cards we have here. It's pretty decent. Skater Body. No, I'm fine with that. So we lose on board already.
This will be good. It's going to be okay.
Your Power Lotus is fine. We have a little bit too many spells right now. That's kind of weird. And we don't really have enough damage because we're not wide enough to do a lot here. I don't think I regret the mulligan still. Like on average, we would get another 1-drop. It just kind of sucked that we didn't. Like look at the deck, right? Everything in here is a 1-drop for a reason, and it's because you want to draw your 1-drops. Corsair and Patches in this deck. I don't think Corsair is good like when it hits something. It doesn't hit anything right now. There's no like matchup that it's broken in. His weapons just aren't like prevalent right now. Okay, Savage Aura's not very good either. Can Power the Wild to go wide and then make a 5/4 maybe? Pop that. I mean, I could Roar to clear a little bit, but I think we prefer to Roar later. It's just not good enough right now, but I think we make the Panther. And then I think we just take a draw. Dharmal's okay, we make that buff and use the face. I'll probably make some want to value trade here, which is fine. Or Magnetize more. If he wants to Magnetize more, that's fine. And he might just go face still. It's just like the most flexible play for us.
Protocol 7.
Okay, so we space for 11. Cool. 7 plus 4, that's a clear. He gets 2 1/1s, we could Hero Power and clear them down. Probably want to develop the 2 1-drops though. Seven, 4. Playing around the ability for him to develop a board here is really big because we have double Blessing of Ancients. So we want to make sure all of our tokens are alive. And we win this matchup like straight up through board anyways. After they have like their initial wave, they can make some big stuff, but nothing that's like usually really giant. Kind of weird though. We have played like some pretty high value cards so far. And like a lot of our draws are going to be 1s. So maybe like 1 out of the next 3 draws we'll get like a Power of the Wild, Ancient, Carpet, Roar, Jeeves. We probably have time with this hand, like double buffing this board, to be able to sit for that long. Naked Menace, okay. So we buff 1 time. Hero Power, we triple trade, and go face for 5. Okay. That's good. I don't really care about the draw there. The Hero Power is just good. The longer I can abuse that for, the longer I want to. Leroy's not good in this deck, no. It's not good in this deck at all. It's a board-based aggro deck, not a face-based aggro deck. You don't want to draw cards that are bad, because you need to cycle cards with Jeeves a lot of the time. And you don't want cards sitting in your hand a long time. Because if you draw a card and it sits in your hand for 5 turns with this deck, you might as well have just skipped your draw. It's kind of that simple. Like if you're just holding cards for a long time, it's almost like the card you drew didn't even matter. It's not like a control deck where you can wait that long. You really just don't have time. Get that first.
This will be good.
And we're good to go. I kind of like this matchup because you know they don't run stuff like Consecrate. Their deck is very one-dimensional, and they don't really do too much else other than like make huge minions. So as long as you can kill the huge minions they play, it doesn't matter what your health is, for example, you just get to chill. Did I play a Vargoth token Druid deck with the Jeeves a while back? Yes. I think that was a little bit slower though. Definitely a little bit slower than we're jamming right now. This is very much so a face-oriented quick deck. So you go Ancients, and we Hero Power, and we get exactly what
This will be good.
Maybe I'm underrating Blessing the Ancients. Because you do have time to play in this matchup. It's like, it's Secret Mage, I guess, where it's bad. But it's been good against my Paladin so far. You know, I don't know if right now is the time to do it, but I mean, it's usually the time they would do switch ups like that. You know how they like put the standard or the wild cards in standard? It'd be like right about now, right? Like when the expansion's been out for a few months, everybody's kind of bored of it, need new cards. That's when a big switch up like that would be really cool. But I think we would have to wait probably until like next expansion, maybe the one after, for that to ever happen. And even then, I don't really think that they would. Yeah.
I'll show them.
Okay, that's fine. You could just like value trade. I don't know if playing the egg is really right. It might be better to just like Roots, Lotus, value trade here. It's definitely better on board. We're not really... I mean, if he just takes a trade, then I guess we just like Nerubian value trade buff. I mean, that's okay. He plays Archaeologist. Archaeologist trades into all of our stuff a while. But if we even go for this line, we don't have any good trades into that, so this is fine. Just put the egg for face. Okay. I'm gonna test Counterspell with Roots. Not that it's like the best test ever, but I mean, it's test. The secrets are really weird to play around here. I think that I should do this, though. It's fine. One runes means that Jeeves sticks a lot. Then you'll get new broken decks that people are bored of. Yeah, but then wild would truly be wild. Would be my thought on that, though. Maybe I'm like too optimistic about it or something, I don't know, but I think it would be sweet if that was the case. So I could maybe like just attack, trigger the Flame Ward, and then play Jeeves.
Let's see.
If it's explosive runes, it's really bad, but like we don't really play on the second one, right? It never really happens here. So it's not explosive. I mean, it could be explosive then, or counterspell. Should buff the
I got you, friend.
2/2. We want Nerubian popped. Explosive number 2, so Jeeves is good now. Probably counterspell or dude.
This will be good.
I could maybe actually testing with Roars right there. Because then I draw more cards. The thing is, like, Roars is good though. It is just good. All the spells in the deck are good and useful in this matchup, so it's like picking and choosing what you would get. Okay, so it's not explosive runes though, so I don't really care. Flame Ward is likely. If he pings here, it's definitely Flame Ward.
Excuse me.
Valet, okay. Engaging. Trade face. It might be dupe. It's probably a dupe.
Amazing.
With that play. I mean, I still probably play it like it's Flame Ward though.
Well,
Not like it's dupe.
yeah.
I mean, I technically, if it's Flame Ward, I still get a 4/1, right? A 4/1's okay because I have Jeeves up. Maybe actually the play is to just like trade face.
Time goes short.
Okay, so he doesn't have counterspell, good to know. So I gotta play around that better, but This is kind of a weird turn for him because he wants to kill Jeeves, but he also wants to kill the Nerubian, and he has no secrets up now. So he has to like fireball the Jeeves or leave the Jeeves up, kill the Nerubian, and then I go wide and do stupid stuff, and we can win that way. Things, okay. The idea with that is to make it hard for him. Like, ping Corintor Mage Secret is probably the simplest play he has to answer back.
Time runs out on me.
Wouldn't be that good because Counterspell is very likely at this point. Torch, and that's it. Okay, definitely not the most ideal play for him ever. So our play is just go wide and play Lotus. Draw some more cards.
This will be good.
Let me get
So the way we like triggered his 2 secrets is kind of weird because I was pretty sure that one was like Counterspell. And then one would be dupe or ward, but it ended up being dupe and ward. So I could have probably had the 4/4 Nerubian, but I think if we were still assuming it was Counterspell and not ward, that was correct. Because the thing is, with him on 5 mana, it was really, really weird for him to clear the Nerubian and Jeeves, because I was thinking he would have to like Valet and then ping the Jeeves to clear it, which would be 4 mana, he'd float 1, and then he could Valet or ping the Nerubian next turn, but like my 4/1 would stick, so... All we basically did there was just put him in a really weird situation where nothing was really that great for him. And it worked out pretty well for us. That might be Counterspell. Should probably still try to do this, right? It's not a Counterspell. So we should do this so we can win. I mean, we win with this anyways, right? We win with either of them.
Nuts to you!
Okay, so we pop him at 3. And he has to go from there. Cool. I think choosing what secrets to play around in this matchup is usually the toughest part about it. Like which ones you think are most likely, which ones you lose to the least. It's usually like you don't play around the one that you lose to the hardest is usually how the outcome ends up. Dude, my sentences are fucked today. That's usually how it ends up working is like, say you just lose to explosive runes if you play Carpet on 3, play Carpet on 3. If it's explosive runes, you get out. If it's not, then you win. That's usually how it goes. Hey Sam, how you doing?
What to
What's
do?
good?
What to do?
Time runs out on me. I'm late.
5/5 secret.
Excuse me, you...
They never run 2 blocks. That makes no sense.
Nuts to you!